Hello and welcome to Trial Watch. I am Nick, and we're talking about a concept in the legal system called consciousness of guilt. Now, in the jury instruction phase, in the Karen Reed case or the John O'Keefe homicide, the Karen Reed trial, that was brought up by the prosecution in regard to Karen Reed driving over to her parents' house. That, according to the prosecution, is she was trying to hide something, as in consciousness of guilt. Trying to hide evidence, taking the car away from her home, something like that. And consciousness of guilt is not unusual. For instance, in the Texas v. Dykes case, which I covered a while ago, it was brought up since Miss Dyke and her wife, yes, her name was actually Dyke. I'm not making that up. You can check for yourself. That she went to Vietnam to avoid prosecution. Now that is, you can argue, consciousness of guilt. You're actually trying to get away. But the facts in the Karen Reed case, it's somewhat much different. Karen Reed's boyfriend was just found on the lawn of a police officer family, dead. She more or less just found out she was a suspect. What you're hearing is Mr. Jingles. Mr. Jingles, I'm trying to make a video here. Now, her boyfriend just died. Who are the people you go to when struck by this enormous amount of grief? Family. So for me, using that as consciousness of guilt is ridiculous. Pure ridiculous. And this is not the first time the prosecution can make ridiculous claims. As in, they attempted to be brought into the trial that Karen Reed contacting a lawyer was in consciousness of guilt. And that blew my mind, that a lawyer, a prosecutor, Lally, is trying to make a fundamental right in the US justice system, your right to an attorney, as to be something suspicious, as in consciousness of guilt. It is mind-blowing for me that anybody would even make that argument. A fundamental right, a constitutional right, as a consciousness of guilt. That tells me the weakness of the case against Karen Reed when a prosecutor is going to these lengths in order to make Karen Reed look bad. It's mind-boggling to me. And now I don't cover the Karen Reed case. I will not make much content about that case. There are plenty of others that do great job covering that case. You have Brandy Churchwell, you have Broken Baker, EDB, Ian Runkle. I mean, go watch those people. They are making great content out of this, but this is my little input into the Karen Reed case. It's mind-boggling what the prosecution tries to get in as consciousness of guilt. The only thing more mind-boggling is that the judge actually seems to entertain that thought. that Karen Reed going home to her parents for support after her boyfriend was found dead is a consciousness of guilt. Thank you for listening. Watch my other content, like, subscribe, do all the YouTubey things, and I will see you in some of the cases I actually cover. The Young Thug trial, the Florida double homicide. They are in the death penalty phase at the moment, sentencing phase, and other cases I cover. Thank you for listening.